like, sorry, getting a little choked up. No, honestly, like, no jokes aside, it's a beautiful thing. Honestly, like, just even.
Hold on, I know you're not talking about niggas being emotional.
I was gonna cry too. Don't worry. I'm with you.
We'll cry together later. But honestly,
what I wish, I want to see some people's little black books. Right?
Oh, from back in the day?
Yeah, I want to go see some people's black books and be like, let me see what was turning up in here.
Oh, God, yeah.
it's
Nah.
crazy. I had a box of like my mom's like old stuff, like photo albums, like black books like that. And it's like, it's really, there's like this photo album where she was like, it was like some like Young and the Restless like fan like meeting or some shit.
That's hilarious.
And she had a photo. She took a photo with Shamar Moore. And I'm like, whoa, Mom, you know Shamar Moore?
Hold on.
Yeah, Dad?
I'm not lying. If I was Shamar Moore, I'd be really disappointed.
With me? Asshole.
Yo, that's a 5-star nigga right there.
Yeah,
Right?
listen. I mean, yo, he coined black excellence back in the day. Like, I mean, yo, he's the reason we're trying to lower standards on television. Like, yo, let the average nigga get on there.
Yeah.
Just get the other brothers some hope.
I care less about racial representation and more about attractiveness representation. Say what you want. British TV, there's beer, mid-level people on
Yes.
TV.
Yes, and that's why they have confidence through the nation.
Exactly. Right?
They conquered most of the world.
Yeah. You know what? It's like a bunch of average looking niggas did that. All right? We caused the most Independence Days in the world. Looking like this, busted ass teeth, all that shit.
Oh shit.
Guys, welcome back to the Dark Matter Podcast. Oh man, if you've been tuning into our little cold open, you can hear that we have a guest here, very special guest, very illustrious, the talented, the infallible, the average nigga representative. Nah, he's anything but average. Please welcome, give a nice Dark Matter welcome to Danton Lamar, ladies and gentlemen. Danton Lamar. Don't call him Dan. Don't call him Dan. Don't ever do that. You don't do that. Danton, man, how you been?
Been good. Fucking in the middle of a campaign, so fundraising is life right now. But been good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna get all into that. We want to talk all about that. But like first and foremost, I want to talk about where you kind of started your comedy journey. Like what age? Where were you at? Location wise? What? Mentally.
Also, why you here?
Why are you here? Yeah. He's alluded to because like this is Canada and you ain't Canadian, so why are you here?
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like a 3-parter. I'll start with when I started, and then we'll get to why I'm here.
Yeah.
I guess. I started 9 years ago. 2015. Fucking, I started in Beijing. I was out there fucking teaching English, chilling.
Comedy in Beijing.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you kind of cornered the market there.
as one does, right? Yeah, I was the one black comedian, so it was great. No, it was fucking nuts. Like I was just chilling, going to mics, just like I knew a couple of the comics that would go, and then we would always chill, shoot the shit afterwards. And then like, one of them was like, "You should try it," and then she helped me write my first set. Kyrie Gray. Still out there. She's still doing comedy. She's still writing for people and shit. But yeah, she helped me write my first set. Fucking 5 minutes of a story of me like wrecking some kid at camp playing dodgeball. And then I went to the mic, performed it, got a ton of laughs, and I was like, oh, this is the validation I didn't know I needed. Welcome my new addiction. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was fun though. Like, and then from then I was hooked. I was trying to get on stage as much as I could, which at that point there was only 2 mics a week. So, that was twice, and then kept rolling from there. Moved to the Czech Republic, helped like run a weekly mic there. Started doing like more shows out there, doing more book shows, traveling around a bit. Like that was when I first started doing like my first other shows like in Germany and fucking Amsterdam and shit like that. And then fucked off, went back to the States for a little bit. and then wound up in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Helped start a comedy club in Russia.
Sound like an op, bro.
Yo, wherever they need comedy in the world, they send me, bro.
I was like, yeah, I went back to America, and then I just ended up in Russia.
So some guy in Germany just with like dark sunglasses, like, we need your services. Like, okay.
Yeah. When you get an assignment at $1 amount, you go. Yeah, no, it was fucking crazy. And then I met my fiance while I was hosting a show out in Russia, out in St. Petersburg, which was fun. And then we fucking moved to Toronto like 6 months later.
Okay. What was the decision to move to Toronto? Like, clearly, I mean, I don't know if there was a decision on why you moved to all these places.
I think she couldn't go to the States.
Why don't you ask them? Why are we speculating on this side of the table? I think she don't have a green card. What do you think, Nathan?
Again, listen, I know your fiance, wonderful, but in my mind, when I'm like, you just showed up in Russia, came back with a thing. I was like, that's sus.
She had already lived in America, and she did want to go back. She wanted to be. I mean, main thing, the goal was to be out of Russia because she saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah,
and she was like, "Shit's about to go down. I don't know how, but I don't want to be here." And so I was like, "That's fair." I mean, I'm enjoying the Wild West of it, but cool. And then, I didn't know she was so right.
You just turned on the TV one day, like, damn, babe.
It's like, you know what? We should have got everybody.
Should have got a bus or something.
Chartered a whole plane, like fucking.
Should have did some like Argo shit. Being like, oh, we're doing a movie. We got to get the whole crew.
Everybody got to go.
Yeah.
Can't leave nobody.
It's a little 12-year-old Russian girl. Oh, she's my camera guy. She need to come with me.
That's the key grip. That's the key grip.
That's the best boy. I know she a girl. She a best boy, though.
Best boy, though. We should change that role, but we'll talk about it later. All right. Yeah, so we fucking hit the ground running here in Toronto. Fucking, It was crazy.
So you're in Toronto. Now, correct me if I get this wrong, but you are the first Black or minority owner of a comedy club in Canada or Ontario?
As far as I know, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. This is not a thing that we do on the podcast.
I was going to say, we got very jazzy today. All right.
Yeah, baby. Oh, that's cool, cat.
Put on some Sade in the background.
Yeah. So like, I didn't think it was the case, and like, but I was just doing research after we opened because somebody asked me, and I was like, I know we're the first one in Toronto, I think, because like just doing the quick Google, didn't see none, and then I was Googling for North America as a whole, and there was a bunch across the U.S., but then I just didn't find anything for Canada, and so if I'm wrong, let me know. But send me the article because I couldn't find it.
There's some like 50-year-old Black man being like, I was the first goddamn. The club was open for 2 days, but I did it.
Yeah, I mean, back in the times when it could be open for 2 days and then burn down the next day. Like.
Also, I love when you said 50. Like, that's not.
I was gonna say that's not that long ago.
I think the fact that you're as young as you are, and you are like, to our knowledge, the first minority owner of a comedy club, 50 is probably accurate, like it wasn't like a much older than that person starting businesses in Canada.
I mean, think about it. Mark Breslin is what, almost 70
something,
right?
A young buck, I don't know.
He's saying he wouldn't have invented the wheel, he just would have copied it and then gotten his wheel burned.
That's what I'm saying. So what propels you to like start comedy clubs? Why don't you just do comedy? What's inside you to do that?
Why you like work?
Why you like working so damn much? Why you putting us all to shame? Making us look lazy and shit.
Honestly, I like it because I hate being told no. And so if it's my show, niggas can't tell me I can't be on it. So
that's more than fair.
That's one of the things. It's like whenever people ask me, what can I do to get more stage time? Run a show.
Yeah.
Run a show, because then you have something to offer other producers, and then they'll in turn give you a spot. But then you also know every week you have that spot, or every month, whenever however often you're doing that show. And so that's why I was always keen on setting up a show whenever I got somewhere, because it's like you can't. It's weird asking for something, A, if you're not that great, and B, if you have nothing to offer. Right? And so starting out, you're not that great. So you may as well either give yourself time, and like, especially if you're new in comedy, don't host your show.
Yeah.
If you're brand new, if you're under 5 years in, don't host your show. Just don't. Like, you can think you're hilarious, but you're gonna come across something that's gonna ruin the show one time, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, and then you're gonna lose a lot of confidence. Just let somebody else host your show, but do a spot.
All right, so my show now has a new host.
But we have all seen, like, even like you've been in comedy a lot longer than we have, but even I believe even on our short time, we've seen people who've got like maybe, I don't know how many months into comedy, and they start hosting their own show, and it is not good.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a good host makes it look easy.
Exactly.
And it's not like you can't pick up the skills early on. Like, you can. It's just you got to know what you're doing. You got to be intentional about doing it. Because like, if you're just up there trying to do your time every time you're doing a show, you're not hosting right. The show is not about you as a host. You're there to make sure that everybody is good, but you're teeing up all the comics that are coming after you.
You're a facilitator.
Yeah. Right. And so as long as you're playing that role, then it's fine. Right? Like the audience doesn't even have to love you. They just have to trust you to bring people up and down. Right? Like you can be the most hated comic on the show, but everybody else is getting laughs. That's still a good show.
Yeah.
Right? Like, honestly, like as a host, I feel like I failed when somebody's like, you're the best comic on the show.
Yeah. Really.
Damn. Like, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I was trying to bring it, but like I also was just trying to set everybody else up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you do. Oh shit, my bad.
Take a breath.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous.
It's dancing, man.
I'm good.
Man, says he's not nervous. His voice is 5 octaves.
I'm good.
Kermit voice comes out, everything's chill.
No, man, I'm good. I was
Danton, sir.
To say, as if we don't see each other every week.
I was gonna ask. Sorry to interrupt, but I was gonna ask a question. Like, what's the process of starting up a comedy club? Like, how? Because you seem like everywhere you go, you seem like you start up a comedy club. I know you probably only did it like twice, but still.
I mean, yeah, I did only do it twice. But like, I've helped people like create, like, because it's a club at first is an idea, right? And so like, you could have a club without a space. You can just do a regular show somewhere, right? And so like, that's how the first comedy clubs that I was actually a part of were. Because like, that's how like the Beijing Comedy Club was, right? It would be mainly at this one bar, but then every once in a while they'd be booked, so it'd be somewhere else. But it was still, every time they did an event, it was the Beijing Comedy Club, right? And so I was like, the club is more the concept than the space, right? And so it's being able to bring that vibe and that concept wherever you're going. And that's the origins of a club. And now like, I have the ability with the lab to have 4 walls around it, right? And so, because like, even before the lab and like Word Entertainment, when I was working with another comic, we were doing like the Black Tea Collective. Like, that wasn't necessarily purely a club, but it was always a vibe. And so like, when you knew you were coming to one of those shows, you knew what you were getting. And so that's the beginnings of starting a club. And like, then, if you can put walls around it, great. But just make sure you're honestly representing the same way every time.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going into your origins and we're talking about like what you've done so far, but like, we're talking about it because, we know you and we've been at the club, but for, our listeners who don't know you, can you like just, talk about the lab, where it's at location wise,
Give me the pitch.
Give me the pitch. Yeah, that's your camera right there.
Word. So yeah, the Comedy Lab is Canada's first Black and queer-owned comedy club. We are at 298 Brunswick Ave in Toronto, right near the corner of Bloor and Spadina. We run the most diverse lineups of shows in the city. We try to challenge the city to do better in its promotions. We created the place because when I first moved to Toronto, there were a lot of shows that were happening, tons of shows every night of the week. But the average lineup was 4 to 5 straight white guys and 1 token something else. And so we literally built the lab to combat that. Which is why you'll never really see more than one or at most two straight white guys on any one of our lineups.
And they're bringing it. And they're bringing it.
They're there because they're fire.
Yeah.
And so like it's one of the things that like I wanted to make sure we had space for minorities to practice this craft and feel safe doing so. Like I don't advertise us as a safe space, but we are definitely somewhere where if you do say the wrong thing, you're not welcome back. Like we have a long list of things you're allowed to do, but a very short list of what you're not. And typically everybody who comes to us knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, we pride ourselves on running the only weekly queer theme mic, monthly black shows, and we'll be doing a whole run of queer shows during Pride every year.
Yeah, this is the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Like, sorry, getting a little choked up. No, honestly, like, you know, no jokes aside, it's a beautiful thing. Honestly, like, just
You
even.
crying?
Hold on, I know you're not talking about niggas being emotional.
I was gonna cry too. Don't worry. I'm with you.
We'll cry together later. But honestly, it was so good to see a place like the Lab, and you're so good at curating a vibe that doesn't feel ultra specific. It's just a welcoming vibe where, you know, I never felt like even going to the Lab, whether it was just on my ones, just like going there to see comics or going to perform there, just like I always felt welcome. It never felt like a space where someone was going to get up on stage and say something I didn't like and I had to go. Yeah. Like I never felt like that once. Whereas like other places, I'm not going to name names, but I felt that way. And I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And I don't know. If this is the state of comedy, I don't know if I want to rub shoulders with people like that, you know?
And that's fair.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, and I know some of the spaces you're talking about. One of them just got reanimated. Didn't see that coming. But yeah, like those spaces, and like I've heard that they plan to have very different billing than they did in the past. Because what I heard from people that went to their shows was they were torturing audiences and ruining our good name. But that's neither here nor there. You know who you are.
On the other hand, it's like I think those spaces should exist because that means I ain't got to deal with these niggas.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. That's actually a legitimate point.
No,
right?
it is. Yeah. And I mean, because like, yeah, they gonna have to have somewhere to go. Because they like most everybody's welcome. They're not welcome.
Think about it like this. Think about it. If you always have people that be scaring the hoes, right? If they all stay in one place, you know what? Yeah. All the hoes everywhere else are happy.
Yep. Right? Except for the ones that accidentally get tricked.
Exactly. That's the thing. I want happy hoes, bro. Like that's just what it is, right? I mean, I want happy everybody, but the hoes.
The hoes.
Just say we got one main concern.
Yeah. Because if the hoes is happy, the world's happy. You don't realize.
You need to run for mayor of Toronto. The hoes are our future. We must.
Yeah, that's me trying to legalize prostitution. I'm like, yo, we gotta do it for the hoes.
Oh my god.
The hoes have had our backs and our fronts.
But their backs are just not that strong anymore.
We gotta support them.
The hoe economy is everybody's economy.
It is.
Go ahead.
There's actually, so economists were talking about this index. Yeah. Because sex workers are the first ones to find out
everything.
Whenever markets
a real bear market or a real bull run.
That's when, because they're always dealing with the richest of the rich people, right?
What kind of pillow talk?
No, this is the stripper index. This shit is real, bro.
This is Game of Thrones?
Like this is real economic studied shit.
Yeah. Like when high up individuals are starting to feel the squeeze, the strippers are the first ones to feel it. The sex workers are the first ones to feel it.
Yeah, they're the first ones to know because first off, niggas showing up less.
Exactly.
Balling a little less hard.
They're like, oh man, Microsoft must not be doing so well today.
Be like, I haven't seen Jerry in weeks. You know?
Right? And you know it's nothing you did because that nigga used to show up every week.
Oh yeah,
on the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Girlfriend, no girlfriend, he's still pulling up.
Oh yeah, because what they got is special.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you looked at the camera. It's an endorsement for prostitution. We were talking about this a couple episodes ago, but are you pro the legalization of prostitution?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't look. First off, I mean, sex work is real work. I feel like we need to stop policing it the way we are. It's the oldest fucking trade. It's not gone anywhere. All right, we just put it into the fucking shadows, which just makes it dangerous. Right, it allows everything to be way seedier, and it gets to be all the sensationalized news headlines that it is because we keep it in these recesses. If we shine a light on it, make sure everything is above board, then there's still going to be some bad shit that happens, but at least most of it will be within the light.
Yeah, and then when Bill Clinton gets some head, you're like, oh yeah, that nigga just paid for some head. Like, that's fine.
Are we calling Monica Lewinsky a sex worker?
No.
I think the hypothesis is if it was legal, that wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
So they're like, oh yeah, Bill just wanted some head. So, he called somebody up, home delivery, clout.
Home dome delivery,
Uber Eats, but like different, like fucking Uber fuck. I don't know.
Listen.
I was gonna say, you acting like this shit don't already exist.
But like,
they don't get to advertise.
Exactly. Right?
So I was like, Uber Meats?
Uber Meats.
Uber Beats? Uber Cheeks?
Cheeks.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's got all the variations. It's just, what are you looking for right now?
Yeah. You can go straight from the Uber Eats app into other.
It's like I used to have this as a joke, and I might have to bring it back because like Dick Dash should be a thing. Right?
Dick Dash.
Yeah.
You gotta take a picture of your girl before you leave. Just gotta check if you're satisfied. All right.
Yo, the reviews go crazy. You really working for those reviews, man.
Like, ooh, girl, we got a 5-star motherfucker down the way. Let's go. Book him now.
He might not come if you don't put him extra tip. Well, for his tip, I'll tip extra. Okay.
You'll be waiting outside like you ordered food. Just
in the window.
It's coming.
Sausage.
You have to pay extra for that. For a pizza.
The whole pizza.
You have to pay extra to eat it with me. I take it back with me because I'm hungry.
Okay, theoretically,
it's always dangerous when you go this route. Yes.
Talk your shit, King.
How do we make this work without it being illegal? Right? Because you can rent a friend, right? You're legally allowed to rent a friend, and you can sell your services of me hanging out with you, right? So, I mean, I guess that's what experts do already. But like, if you put it in like an app format, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna come out and hang out with me. Like, it's like renting a boyfriend, renting a date, kind of thing like that. Mm-hmm. And, obviously, whoever gets the message can say, accept, decline, do what you want, right? Or renegotiate the offer. Right?
So you should be able to hit back terms. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're just like talking about like massage parlors without the massage. Like,
well, because you don't always have to go to the massage because you might just actually want to go to a date. Like, I'm thinking like actually escorting.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, you want to be like, yo, I want to go to the game. I don't want to go alone. I already got an extra ticket. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, bring somebody, ball a little bit, just not feel alone. I mean, that's basically what it is 95% of the time anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's just companionship. So, I mean, that's, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that used to be Backpage, but I don't know now.
Yeah, fair. That's the thing. It's the flex of like, especially when we went to like an event, there's always a flex of coming to an event with a great companion.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's a fine thing or somebody's going to come in and like steal the room and you're like, that's with me. Right?
Well, yeah, because I mean, you could choose. It'd be dope if on the app you could choose brains or beauty. Be like, nah, I need to impress niggas intellectually.
We go to a Mensa thing. It's like,
she can talk nuclear fission, and she also knows about sports. All right, cool. All right, put that request in, see what happens. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I mean, going back to you and your shit, and not the state of prostitution. But like I said, you're very good at curating a vibe and bringing very welcoming energy. What was it like partnering up with your partner and now like producing partner Mickey What like how did that come about? Like, did you guys know each other like through comedy and like?
Yeah, Mickey, because like the lab is now run like it was just me in the beginning. Now it's Cliff, Mickey, and myself.
Okay.
And so yeah, now we're all three in charge of it. Musa is another associate, but he's helping with other stuff outside of the lab. And so Mickey specifically, they had their first set at the lab.
Okay.
It was in our first months of opening. They came through and did they were just like looking to do the mic, did their first set, and just like kept hanging around. And one of the good things is like they wanted to, they were eager about getting better quickly, and people gave them advice. And the best thing is they did the things that people said to do, and it actually paid off a lot. And so people were way more, willing to like work with them and everything. And then, they just kept coming around. Then they started getting big breaks from other people because they were running like the Gayborhood mic for a little while, which was with somebody else. And then they were doing a lot of Black Sheep shows, hosting with them and doing a lot of their trivia stuff, which they still do a bit of. And so like that gave them a lot more stage experience, which like put them fucking in like the hyperbolic chamber, really. Like just because like, oh, you're hosting something every week and half the time it's not even comedy. Like you're just getting used to being on stage in front of people, which really battens down the nerves, which honestly, like it works wonders all around. Cause like I used to do a lot of stuff that wasn't comedy. I used to be in front of audiences, either speaking or facilitating events or whatever, and like leading workshops and stuff like that. So it's good when somebody can get that kind of experience, especially so early on. And so they just kept working at it, kept learning a lot of the finer points of like producing and hosting. And then like after 2 years of that, I was like, well, you know what? You're here all the time. You're running. Like at this point, I had asked them to host our weekly mic for like Ladies Night every Thursday, 10 o'clock. And so they had been holding that down. I was like, all right, you're reliable. You get it. You get what's going on. They really fit with the vibe. And so I was like, fuck it. We're looking to expand and like, I can't do everything. So, looking to
try.
Like gotta flush out the team a little bit. And so brought them on, which is much like similar to the same reason with Cliff, except for he had been doing comedy for a while and he had been producing Heatwave comedy and a couple other shows in and out at the lab and with me. And so that was also just a natural progression of just like we work well together. You get what we're going after here. So
and for contextual purposes, he's speaking of Mickey Dykeman and Cliff Knight. Great comedians. Gonna have them on the show. I've talked to Cliff. We're working something out, but I'd love to get Mickey on the show. Mickey's great. Yeah.
Cliff
Talk to them.
Cliff is currently our Nathan understudy.
We talked about this where we're gonna have like a core episode where it's just us, but we're just gonna swap out Nathan. We're not gonna say shit.
Just to test the market.
Just to see if anybody notices.
On some Fresh Prince.
I was gonna say he did. Viv shit. Yeah, just be like, do they even notice?
And like Nathan seems more confident this episode.
I don't know what it is, and he got a bit more of an accent. I don't know where that came from. I like it. He should keep doing it.
Where do you get those
I don't know if
braids?
it's appropriation, but he should do it.
Where do you get those braids? They're so colorful. Fuck y'all.
This is from waves to braids in 1 week. Wow.
That's crazy.
Extensions are in.
Black girl magic. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh, shit.
Now, we've touched on a few of your associates, but this kind of leads, this is our Avengers Endgame here, all right? You are currently producing a very big and important project with those individuals. Can you speak a little bit about that? Douche Rehab, like what's that process like? How did it start?
The trailer looks fire.
I love the trailer.
Thank you.
I love the trailer, I love the premise. That's
so
you.
I was gonna say, for those of you who don't know the premise, Douche Rehab, all right, it's a show that follows 4 queer Toronto douchebags that are forced into an AA style program that's meant to make them better people, and we watch as they fight tooth and nail to not change. It's a fun, wild ride. Like I'm one of the stars in it. Cliff Knight as well. Ava Val, Foad HP, and Bones Poley. It's written by myself and Mickey Dykeman. It's honestly, it's a wild ride. We do have the trailer and everything out now. We have our fundraiser going up on Seed and Spark, which we actually got an extra week. So it ends June 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Put your money in. We still need $19,000 to be able to take the money home, which is to get us to like $48,000, which is about 50% of like our actual goal of $100,000. But we've got some corporate partnerships that we're looking into that'll get us the rest of it, if not way more. So yeah, but yeah, we're trying to build a community around it. And so Douche Rehab kind of started when I was just shooting the shit with another comic, and we were talking about how somebody was a douchebag and how there should be a rehab for motherfuckers like that. And then I just kind of rolled with it, fucking started writing the pilot, wrote first like 2.5 episodes. And then started like talking to people. I brought like one of the first people I started talking to was Ava Val, because I was like, yo, I want to. Like, it's easier for me to write characters if I know who I'm writing them for. You know, so like I got the core cast locked in, and I was like, all right, now I know who I'm writing for, all 4 of these people, and it's been fun. Like we shot like what's going to be our 7-minute cinematic trailer on no money, but it looks really fucking good. Like you saw the 1-minute version, which looks great. And that got us awesome partnerships already. We've signed on with Rolling Pictures, which is the post-production studio that did Sort of. They did Popstar. They also did like a ZZ Pop documentary. They've done all sorts of shit, right? They've worked very closely with like Carolyn Taylor because like they did Baroness von Sketch. They've worked with Mae Martin. And so like they're going to get us in the room with like, hopefully like CBC, HBO, talk about this show. But yeah, like I wanted to write it just because I wanted to write something that gave a chance for more authentic representation. And a chance for fucking Toronto comics to act in something instead of just being like I was gonna say, instead of just being in a commercial or a role that gets murdered, you know? Like, and so it's been fun. We've been able to really build like a nice community around it. We've already got like 500 followers on Instagram. We've raised $29,000 so far. And like we're keeping going. Like I said, we already got that partnership. We're talking with the city of Toronto and a couple other cities in Ontario about getting production funding. So, you know, to keep growing that budget. But yeah, hopefully it'll be out by the summer of 2025. But that heavily depends on if we're gonna get more money. We will wait to shoot it because more money is better than no. Like, not. So
when you figure out what your budget is, then you can actually, all right, where are we making cuts? Where do we not have to make cuts?
Right?
Let's get it done.
Well, like, that's the thing. It's like there's so few things that like for a comic in Toronto actually pay, right? So I want to be able to make sure that everybody involved actually does get paid a bit for this. Like, you know, I mean, you know, doing stand up is hard. Like fucking, you don't get much, and so. When we're like, all right, yeah, you're not gonna be able to take stand-up gigs, so we'll at least be able to pay you for that. Because it'll probably be about 2 months to shoot the whole show, and like we'll need them.
It'll be
most every day, so it's like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to fly out and do like bigger shows anywhere, but we want to make it worth their while
for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a production question?
No, I have a question about international scenes.
Okay. Before we get to that, I'm gonna throw it off to you.
That's fair.
But by the time this episode comes out, it will come out next week, so that would be a day before the campaign ends. Okay. So we'll have all the links in the description. Please go and support it. It's a fantastic premise. I think with a lot of media I consume with like queer characters or LGBTQ characters, like they're often put in an archetype. So having your show would be like, no, anybody could be an asshole. It doesn't matter what you're doing. And I think like that's like, it's like genius. Like,
well, because I mean, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring everybody together through our shared humanity of either being like, I know that asshole, or fuck, I am that asshole.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's different subtypes of asshole and you know, douchebags. And like, you know, I be falling under one of them. I'm not sure which one yet, but like,
they'll tell you. Don't worry.
That's the thing. It's like there's so many, like broad stroking ideas of what a douchebag is, but we do all have douchey tendencies. And so it's like you'll see all of your douchey tendencies in the show, and you'll be like, fuck. Didn't even realize that was me.
I need therapy.
Shit, I gotta apologize to people. Fuck.
I think the worst part of that is like if someone ends up watching Douche Rehab and they send you like a clip being like, that's you. You said the same thing last week. Remember that? Asshole. Thanks, man. And then you have to make the post. Stop sending me.
I do also like the idea of that tension of them not trying to change.
Oh yeah,
right? Because like that's very realistic. Because we're always like, oh yeah, like you got to be a better person and work to be a better person. It's like, nigga, that's hard.
Be like, you know what? I love me, so fuck off.
It's like you don't like me. That seems like a you problem.
In the show description, you reference "It's Always Sunny" as like an inspiration for the show. You don't have to answer this, but are we going toward like when you eventually make the show and you finish writing everything? Are we going to like a full circle where they like come to realize like they're good people, or are we just going straight into like the depths of like? Stay tuned, or what's going on?
Well, because so originally we were writing it as a limited series, right? So we were going to try to have everything wrap up in a nice little bow in 7 episodes. And as we've been writing it, and as we've been putting effort into get this thing fucking funded, we're like, fuck it, we'll do a second season, like because it's too hard to wrap up the whole story, like because with the storyline we do have, they're not finished.
Okay,
like They think about it.
Yeah.
The thoughts are happening, but they're definitely not fully better. So
they've realized they have a problem.
Yeah.
That's about
and it's like it's the beginning. It's the first. It's one of the first steps. Like, so, So like it's the season 1 is very much the beginning of the journey.
Okay.
So we'll get to as the seasons go, we'll get to watch these characters either become better or fail at becoming better.
Cool. That's cool. I wanna. If you'd like to come back on like closer to when the show is about to come out, and I want to hear like all about how it's been going, how's it been shooting. But I'm gonna throw it to you for your international question.
All right, so you have been like doing comedy in a bunch of different scenes. So I want to know like what are the differences that really that pop up to your mind from like doing comedy in Beijing versus Russia versus America versus here.
The thing that's always different is the community of the scene, right? Like, because the bigger the scene, the less of a community it can be.
Yeah.
Right? Because like in a small scene, like when we built the one in St. Petersburg, right? There were 6 people that did comedy in English.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so we were there every week, and like it was very much a community of people that were like coming to see us. And so we all felt a lot of pressure to write new stuff consistently because it was the same people coming to see us, but we also knew that they were going to be supportive and very giving with their laughs, right? And so it was very different in that like it's not like here where it's very commercial. You're trying to get an audience from the people outside. You're trying to get anybody random. Like there was very niche English speakers in this city, right? And like so it's like people that it's like if you're in a place like that, if you're in a scene like that, it's a lot harder to be like, fuck that guy, I'm not gonna work with him. Like you gotta solve your beef because you're gonna see each other.
That's the only guy, bro.
Like you're gonna see each other at that show. So it's much less space for shit like that, right? And then like you get to a place like Prague, which was like kind of in between, right? It's a very transient city, so you get a lot of people from all over the world. And then like you get a lot of travelers coming through, so that's your audience. You're not even really going after locals that hard, and so there's still like that's like it's big enough where like there's a couple cliques forming, but there's not enough space for real beef.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, there's only 2 outfits offering spots, and at the end of the day, other than the managers, nobody else gives a fuck.
Yeah.
So like it's still gonna go back and forth, and so like you realize like. Even as like producers, because like sometimes you'd be like, fuck that other producer, I'm not gonna do his show, and like anybody else shouldn't do his show, but then you realize you don't fucking matter because they're still gonna do the show because it's stage time, right? Like you're not gonna dictate how I get stage time, and so you'll find that places that are smaller tend to be more supportive and more community oriented, whereas like you get to bigger places like Toronto, New York, Boston, where it's like people are hunting for opportunity. Right? People aren't just doing it for fun. People are actually trying to go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
And like in smaller scenes, like I said, you'll get more of like the hobbyist, somebody who's just in it for the lulz every once in a while. But here, and like anybody who's like really trying to climb the ranks here is trying to make it, right? One thing I found when I first got to Toronto, which I didn't expect, like even having like been a part of like the Berlin scene where like people are trying to climb and like travel around Europe, it's not the same kind of thing as like trying to make it here. Because making it like in the European comedy scene is like you can just tour and write for something, and that's great. You can make good money doing that. But like here, you know, everybody's like trying to get on TV, trying to get a job, like writing for that next sitcom, whatever it may be. So everything feels a lot more cutthroat.
Yeah.
But when I got here, I was like, oh, like, yeah, you know, opportunity, we got to fight, you know, yada, yada, yada. But like, we don't have to be crabs in a bucket about it. Like, yeah, you know, there may only be one spot at this thing. And like, yeah, I'm going to try to work you to get it. But I don't need to slag you off the whole time we're working to get there.
Yeah. I think somebody put it really well, where they're like, in Canada, there's opportunity, but there's not enough opportunity for us to have to fight over it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, they're like, listen, most of y'all ain't gonna make it. And we kind of all know that.
Yep.
Right?
Well, I mean, for real, for the opportunities that are here, everybody knows if you really want to make money in this game, you got to leave.
Exactly. Right? So everyone's like, oh, yeah, this is like stepping stone. We all here building up the skill set. Right? It's like, I'm not worried about you, fam. Like, a few years from now, I'm not going to see you again. Like,
and that's the thing. It's like anybody, you know, at the end of the day, when you're in this industry, especially like doing stand-up, your main competition is time. Like making sure you don't quit. Because like once you quit, you lost. You know? But like as long as you keep going, you have the potential of getting better.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like as long as you're still working and striving to get better, then like you're still winning. And like you're gonna eventually get there as long as you actually do put in legitimate effort. You can't just be showing up and be like, getting wasted every time. Be like, I'm definitely getting better. It's like you don't record your set. You don't even know what you did. It's like, yeah, you are out here running away from something. I don't know what you're doing.
You got demons.
You're just using comedy as a mask. Like, I don't know.
It's interesting that you're talking about hobbyists, and I didn't realize this until like earlier this week. I was like, I don't think I give hobbyists enough like grace, right? Because I'll be sitting there and I'm just like listening to this nigga talk. I'm like, this nigga really just doing this for fun, bro. I was like, this nigga out here wasting my time, bro. It's like, these niggas are savages, bro. Like, what are you doing?
But the good thing about a hobbyist is like they are great for the scene because they are better ambassadors for spreading the love of comedy. Right? And they will, like, if you get a hobbyist on your side, they'll bring people to your shows, you know, and like if you book them, boy, will they bring people to your show. Right? Because like half the time they're like, oh, like I just do it every once in a while, you know, whatever. But like if somebody's like, oh, like, because I love it at the lab, somebody who we don't typically book often, we're like, it's my birthday. I'm like, all right, well, that's 10 tickets. Yeah, I'll book you on I'll book you on the Thursday of your birthday week. Like that's not gonna. I need the sales. Like,
it's fair.
I mean, oh yeah, I feel like I've been not making this video for a while, but I do need to like. Oh, no, there's a lot of things really I feel like people don't really understand about the Comedy Lab and the way we run. Just because I know there's people talking about us, and I know that a lot of people are very upset with us for various reasons. Some very legitimate, others not fully in our control. And like one main misconception I do want to clear up is like we don't own the bar. I know it looks like we own the bar
because you take up all of the space.
Like, you know, my fiance works the bar. I get it, but like we don't own the bar. We don't make money off the bar. We only make money off of ticket sales for the room downstairs. Like that is it. I don't make any money from anything else. Like so I know a lot of people are like, oh, the lab should be paying more, and like they want us to pay out like they would hope a club would. But we're not making any money off of the bars, the drink sales, the food sales. So it's like, I still got to pay rent. I still got to pay our bills to keep the place open. So like if we could have a little more grace, just, you know, a little more grace, like understanding that. Cause like, I get it. It looks like we do. And it looks like we're making money hand over fist, but it's like, I barely paid rent last month. Like, I know what it's like. I'm still struggling in this as much as you guys are. I'm just trying to provide opportunity too.
I do have one critique. Because, like, I keep showing up to the lab and, like, yo, where's the bad bitches at, fam? Like, Fam, it's stressful, dog. Like, I be out there on Thursday, Friday, and I'm like, where the baddies at?
Listen, his soul about paying rent, and you worried about the bitches? What the fuck is wrong with you, nigga?
Bitches are the reason why I pay rent.
Shut the fuck up, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. What the fuck, man? You can wear all these bitches? Nah, man, you gotta pay some rent, nigga. Pay some rent. Sorry, you about to say something? I'm sorry. I
was
had to get
gonna
that
say
out.
he's just mad because they all lesbian and they don't want him.
I was gonna say because they there, they just not on the right side of the fence.
They ain't messing with you.
They them. They them.
They them.
They're them alone.
They are there.
I mean, we can put out a campaign. Well, you know,
I'll put my face on it. I won't put my face on it. Either one, I'll do what I can to help. You know what I mean?
No, we want the bitches to come.
That's what I mean. I think the first step in trying to get the bitches to come is stop calling them bitches.
that is usually the first part of it.
I like how we just brought it all full circle. Listen, our platform is the host. We need the host to show up.
A wise, light-skinned man once said, I hate calling women bitches, but the bitches love it. He didn't say that.
Who said that, Drake? He said, no, really? Oh, shit.
I was gonna say that does sound like a Drake line.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, but I do feel you. The margins on comedy is incredibly small.
Yeah.
Right? And people think it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, you're turning up. I'm like, yo, if I pay everybody in the show decently, I don't get paid. Right?
I just did a ton of work for free.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's one of those things, it's like people are like, oh, you know, it's like, it's not that much work. Take over the lab for a month. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
But it's different. That's your passion, okay? Like, I just come here, I just work. Come on.
Yeah, it's like
maybe $1.
run 24 shows in a month. Do it. Like host half of them.
Yeah. Before we move into our dark segment of the episode, I want to just briefly, what are your plans even beyond Douche Rehab or even Douche Rehab season 2? Like what are your plans for the lab, personal plans? Like, you know, you're getting married soon.
Yep.
You know, like is there like are we opening up a lab too? What's going on? What's happening?
There are talks of opening up a potential second location in Toronto. There's talks of opening a second location in another city. So mainly just because I might be leaving soon. So like I just open another one wherever the fuck I go. No, but like my goal with like the lab, Word Entertainment, more specifically, is I want to continue creating opportunities for minority voices to shine, and that's why we're moving into film. And so I ultimately want to be a standalone production house that eventually gets to a point where we can rival a Netflix in putting out our own content, but also hosting other people's content, more focused towards authentic minority and queer voices.
Oh, you're trying to be Tyler Perry.
Yeah, without much of a religious line to it. Yeah. And so, but like, I want to be able to give opportunity, and I want to be able to give more artists a platform to be able to create. A lot of the time when you have a script, and especially with the way Hollywood is set up now, is like, you know, you're pitching to one of like top 5 companies typically, right? And who's at the head of those 5 companies? White dudes. So
I don't get it. I don't really understand what you're talking about.
And so it's like, even if the company is trying to be more inclusive, just that fact is stopping it. And like, I'm not saying you're not working hard, guys.
Buy Douche Rehab. Buy it.
Yeah, I still need you to buy my shit before I can completely abandon you.
Full season order.
But no, like, I want to make sure that like I can greenlit stories that I believe in and I know people actually want to see, right? And give people opportunities that others might not, right? And so being able to invest in these people in these kind of opportunities in these ways is really what's kind of influenced how I've run the lab and why I've been doing it the way I have. And So yeah, the goal is to, like Tyler Perry, create a whole little compound. But
Small
production
country.
compound. Yeah, like basically. I mean, but I'm thinking take over like a portion of the south of Portugal. But whatever. Because why the fuck stay in North America? Like I can make a soundstage look like anywhere. So I can fly to New York, shoot the exteriors, come back. Like why? I'm sorry. I have my own thing with North America. That's we don't have time for that.
Anybody wants to get up in arms, he said he spent time in Russia, okay? It's just like, it's fine.
That's what I'm saying. My number to Russia came back. He's like, yo, North America's kind of overrated still.
I mean, to be fair, that was when I went to Europe. That's when I got radicalized.
Europe is great. All right. Yeah, okay. So we're transitioning into our last segment of the episode. Thank you again for stopping by.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. This is a little box of little would you rather dark questions. All right. Oh my God.
I was like, is this shit that crazy?
You've been here before.
Listen, things are keeping me awake.
Gotcha. All right. So if you can, pick 2 cards from the box, read both of them out loud, and then we're just going to discuss which one you rather do and which one, we'll all do.
Okay. All right. So, okay, would you rather be required to squeeze the ass of every person you hug?
Oh,
some people already do that. Huh?
yeah, that happens to you. That's not supposed to happen to you.
Yeah, that's not how hugs work, bro.
It's like, isn't that not how you hug?
I know your aunt lied to you, but
Gotcha. Nathan, these are special auntie hugs. Anyone else hugs you like this, they're lying to you. You know he's old when he starts clutching his heart when he starts laughing. He's like,
My blood pressure.
I'm like, he's about to die. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming.
that's what it was. Okay. Or get caught with terrorist training websites in your browser history.
Wait, who's catching me though?
It
You
doesn't
set the parameters.
Say. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
So I mean, because obviously, what's y'all's FBI? The CSIS? Yeah, the CSIS.
Doesn't even sound scary.
It doesn't sound as serious.
Not when you say the CSIS. The CSIS is coming.
Well, to be fair, the FBI sounds scary because you like, oh yeah, the FBI took down a whole bunch of people.
The FBI assassinated leaders.
Exactly. The name has weight. You know what I mean?
It's just, we know their dirt publicly.
The CSIS is looking at my web browser history. It's not that threatening.
I mean, the CSIS just sounds like they send cease and desist letters.
Could you please stop?
Just don't. Okay. Thank you guys.
We saw it. Don't do it again.
Well, this clip, they're going to pull us over every day.
All right, CSIS, right? You bunch of bitches, right? All right, get the fuck out the car. Get the fuck out the car. Oh my God.
I was gonna say my visa's void tomorrow. It's just oh, that nigga has shit to say. He got jokes now. Huh?
Like,
He got
didn't even drop yet.
See what a little cocaine looks like on your record. All right.
You're just in handcuffs. What did I do? And he's like, I'm a fan of the Dark Matter podcast. What?
I appreciate you listening.
Which one are you doing, Danton?
Oh God.
Because you can choose not to hug anybody. And you can
Right,
avoid
you
that whole
could. You
thing.
could just never hug again.
Yeah.
Which honestly is a bit off brand for me. But
Are you a hugger?
I am. Always have been. Always
Look
have
at the
been.
shape of this man.
I'm just saying he never hugged me. That's what I'm saying.
All right, my bad.
I mean,
It's like, yo, turn these cameras off. For us.
No, leave him on. Hug me on camera. I want to know it's real. I want evidence.
the internet's gonna be like video or it didn't happen. So
I'm going to comment on this episode. He hugged me after the show, guys. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, if it is CSIS, I mean, I guess See, but I was just looking at it, right? Like I didn't sign up.
You didn't put add
Did
to
I give him my email?
Nothing.
Like, yeah, did I? Be like, get the terrorist training typo added to my cart.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, what is it? Is it the Anarchist Cookbook? The Anarchist Cookbook is like $15. You can just pick it up and buy it at the store.
Can you
Right?
get it on Amazon?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
And it'll teach you, you know, how to make a pipe bomb, how to blow up a pipeline if you need to. Like, I like, because it's all like really basic information. I'm giving away a lot of it.
This is a theme.
I was gonna say, so basically, it's not hard to look like a terrorist on the internet. Like that's basically what we're saying.
Yeah, right. And like, it's not hard to do it either.
Because I mean, the thing is like I already know. I'm on watch lists. I've lived in China and Russia, nigga. I know. I went to 2 enemy states. Like,
The moment they find you, you're looking up any kind of terrorist organization. Like, nope, that's enough evidence.
You're like, I thought he was gonna stay good. Damn it.
We hired a guy just to watch you. He's on the computer, just waiting for you to click something. He's like, got him.
I would say, like, my goal, if I was gonna be caught, be like, yo, but wasn't it convincing though? Like to the agent that catches me, be like, yo, come on now. Capitalism's dead. I mean, you get it. Like I studied economics. This shit's bullshit. Like,
Fair.
so I mean, getting caught with the history probably be more likely.
Okay.
than what I would.
I think I would grab ass, but only with my girl. I just only hug my girl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what
But
I was
like, how
thinking.
do you get her to the point where she becomes your girl?
Right, but never hugging.
Because that means the first time you hug her, you gotta grab ass.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's like on the 3rd date.
You hugging on the 3rd date?
Yeah, we're hugging on the 3rd date.
You a slow
Wow.
bro.
I told her about my problem. I told her about my problem.
Slow. Like,
Hey, the thing is, if you don't hug a shorty until the 3rd date, you're not even getting a 3rd date.
Yeah,
I don't even think
I don't even know he
me.
liked me.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
I
You
don't
don't
know, man.
You gotta have some faith.
I usually end the opening conversation with a hug.
Exactly.
Nigga.
But if you know you got a problem though, you gotta like, tell them. Word.
Calvin, which one you picking?
Thing is, to be fair, I've kind of already looked up a lot of this stuff already.
Oh, I thought you were going a different way. I already grab ass when I looked. Whoa!
Like I'm already out here Harvey Weinstein and shit. Just like
I mean, but the ass, like the amount of times I've grabbed an ass when I'm hugging somebody, it's probably like a 30-70% like ratio, right? So it's like, yeah, right. But if that ratio changes drastically, I be hugging a lot of people that I can't really just do that to them off the rip, right? So and sometimes you gotta warm them up, you gotta you gotta grab the leg first and then you move your way up, kind of thing.
All right, you convinced me. I'm hugging. I'm grabbing ass. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. Okay, we got time for one more.
Also, to be frank, a good hug is not about grabbing. Like me grabbing your ass diminishes the hug. Like a good hug, like an actual come around, make you feel comfortable and safe for that moment. That's a good hug. Like I'm squeezing cheeks at the same time. That's a very different type of hug.
it's a very different hug. I mean, I feel like that goes back to like a middle school slow dance. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, good.
Leave some room for Jesus.
I mean, Jesus is everywhere, so you don't need a lot of space.
I was gonna say you really don't.
Yeah.
He but a molecule.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they say something about a mustard seed? Something.
Yeah. They say something about mustard seeds, right? Something about
Jesus
God
is a
making
mustard
Adam,
seed.
Adam real small. So
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, have a family member walk in on you peeing on your partner, or have porn audio softly playing from your pocket at all times.
I piss. Yeah, I take that.
But like, how many family members?
Just have, I don't know.
But, like,
You determine the stipulation.
Okay. 3.
Do I get to choose?
Yeah, sure.
Well, no, just like you choose like your cousins that you're cool with. You're like, yo, just fucking don't talk about this.
Yo, shorty asked me, but at the same time, last week I did a thing for her, so she do a thing for me. Like,
Yo, cuzzo, change my sheets.
Nah, I'm gonna make my grandma wash. So I don't have to go back. I don't want to go back to her house.
Damn, what's a grandma do?
Did she hug you and grab your cheek?
I was just saying. we accused the wrong family member.
Yeah. It's a special grandma hug, baby. Don't tell nobody. Oh man, sorry, I forgot. So
The other one's
peeing and
having porn audio.
porn audio
from your pocket at all times.
Yeah.
Nah, all times is crazy.
I was gonna say all times
crazy.
is a lot of times.
I feel like that could be like a fart situation though, where it's like you don't know where it's coming from. Like that's you. That's not me.
I was gonna say,
Like at first, yes, but eventually a man's gonna spend 2 times with you and then realize the same sound is happening.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's where you gaslight them, being like, "How come every time I'm around you, I hear porn?" And you start like, "What? Maybe it is me."
you're like, is this chemistry?
Can you imagine going in for a job interview? All you hear is, here's my resume, sir.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
So I'm like, do you get like because like there are the moments where like they're like because depending on the porn, right? There's the moments where it's just the music and they're like kind of dancing around or whatever, right? Right. So it's like that's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
You hear some clip clop every once in a while. You hear some beats in the background, but yeah, when it sounds like beating cheeks constantly, like that's.
I would assume that it's going through the entirety of like Pornhub. Right? It's just like it's just like
playlist.
It's just like autoplay. It's just
So whatever it goes to.
Yeah. So you get some light moments, and then you also get some moments where someone's getting flogged. Right? It's like it goes back and forth.
But see, the thing is like, is it? Because like then is it scrolling by category or is it random? Because it's like if you know you an ASMR, then you can take care of some shit. You'd be like, I'm gonna be at ASMR on Friday. That's when I can do my interview.
Guys, that's been another great episode of the Dark Matter podcast. Thank you so much to our special guest, Danton Lamar, for stopping by. Please check out all of his socials, Douche Rehab, all the things. Please check him out. It's linked in the description. Danton, you have any shows? This is going to come out next week, so anything happening next week, anytime after Wednesday?
Well, I mean, the Comedy Lab is open Thursday through Friday, or Thursday through Saturday. We do shows 7, 8:30, and 10. Except for Thursday, we just do 8 and 10. But yeah, come check us out. Fucking this month, every Saturday is still The Agenda, which is our queer themed show because Pride. And then the last week of the month, all of our shows that week will be different themed queer shows. We haven't landed on exactly which one yet because it depends on lineups. But it will be all queer because Pride.
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for checking us out. And you can check us out on all the platforms where you can check us out: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music. Everywhere we are, please lock into the content. Thanks for
Blessed, stay beautiful.
Eat your greens.
Take care, guys. He's not wrong.
He's not right. That's why I didn't clap back at it. I was just like putting out good advice, I guess.
Stay hydrated. Stay beautiful.